Nouvelle manche qualificative dans cette dernière journée d'épreuve de la Iame Series Benelux 2025. La catégorie mini qui a pris la première partie de journée. Place à la catégorie mini rookie à présent avec en pole position pour cette première manche qualificative Milan de Ruyt avec à ses côtés Isaac Elaouti, le pilote français arrivé ici en tête du championnat avec d'autres candidats au titre à l'instar d'Eloane Poissonnet, troisième sur cette grille de départ, et Bruce Chirino, quatrième. Ils s'élanceront devant Lucas van der Heren et Raphaël Arduin. Gilles De Waal partira septième, huitième position pour Kian Ten Have, et le top 10 de cette grille de départ complété par Andrea Grelot, 9e, et Liola Towers, 10e. 11e place pour Leonard Herman. La 12e pour Thiago Oliveira. Antunes qui partira donc 12e devant Maxime Smet, Bialanov Arda, Lewis De Ridder, Delibrus Herkelens, Matt Cooper, Bose van der Meulen. Et ensuite, on retrouvera vers la 19e position Maxime Ball, Ferré Lapéret pour la 20e position, Pelle de Vries pour la 21e, 22e place pour Nathan Skreus. Et enfin, la 23e position pour William Sitio qui s'élancera donc en dernière position. Voilà pour cette grille de départ complète donc pour cette catégorie mini rookie avec, vous l'avez vu, 23 pilotes engagés pour cette finale du championnat avec pas mal de suspense au niveau de ce championnat. On vous l'a dit, Isaac Elaouti devant Eloane Poissonnet et Bruce Chirino, mais rien n'est fait entre ces trois pilotes-là. Si l'on prend les points totaux, eh bien, on a Isaac Elaouti et Eloane Poissonnet qui sont à égalité de points et Bruce Chirino à 10 unités. Et si on retire déjà maintenant les deux moins bons résultats, on a 10 points d'avance pour Isaac Elaouti sur Eloane Poissonnet, mais égalité de points entre Isaac Elaouti et Bruce Chirino. Donc vraiment beaucoup de suspense dans cette catégorie mini-rookie, et les principaux candidats au titre et au podium sont tous à l'avant de la grille. Ça promet, ces manches qualificatives s'annoncent explosives.
It will be indeed, and of course one of the biggest things that the drivers have to remember is that not always about concentrating on the championship as someone's struggling to get into their right position as the drivers head up the hill. Now, are we going to go lights out this time? Lights are not out. Full start has been called for the first time today, which means they have been sent round for another formation lap. It was a bit scrappy, to be completely honest with you. Not everyone was in the side-by-side, two-by-two rolling start formation. So that is going to be the big thing here. Now, I have noticed that Leonard Herman and Thiago Oliveira are not showing to have gone past the timing beam. Now, drivers are trying to get into their positions on the grid. So where Leonard Herman and Thiago Oliveira are on row 6, there needs to be a gap kept, because otherwise a driver behind that might not have kept that gap will be considered out of position, will get a penalty as a direct consequence. But at this point, drivers like El Houti, Poissonnet, Chirino, Latauras, Van der Heerde, Bela Akbaba, they do need to not worry about the championship until we get to the final. That is where it's all going to come down to the final moments of the championship season itself. So the driver's looking a bit more contained now coming out of Chemin de Fer and heading on the run through Pif Paf into Escargot. So it is going to be the case of, can these drivers keep in line? If they do, then we've got a very good start in prospect. So we'll see what happens here, but the good thing is we have dry conditions on our side at the meantime. So we're getting these wonderful drone shots being provided from a bird's eye view, and especially going up the final right-hander as they're going to do now. And then the drone is going to follow them all the way to the start-finish line where the red lights are ignited. It's Milan de Ruyt and Isaac Elaouti on the front row of the grid. They've got to be wheel to wheel coming out of the chicane. Now they're going to split. Into the tram lines we go. The revs will start to rise. Do we get the green light this time? Yes, we do, and we're underway. Good start by de Ruyt. Poissonnet looking up the inside of Elaouti. Early doors, 3 wide just behind at around 6th, 7th and 8th. as everyone jockeys for position going into turn 2 for the opening tour. They've got to watch out for the for any potential standing water on the left-hand side coming out of turn 2 into turn number 3. But Milan de Ruyt gets the whole shot. Poissonnet looks to be in second position ahead of El Houthi, the championship leader. Looks like there has been a change for 4th place. Might have been the fact that Bruce Chirino could have just gotten through on Lucas van der Heere as they go into Chemin de Fer for the first time.
Oui, départ dans cette catégorie mini-rookie avec Milan de Ruyt qui s'était élancé un peu trop rapidement lors du premier départ. Faux départ, on a donc remis de l'ordre dans tout ça, mais on est bel et bien parti avec une bagarre qui s'annonce vraiment très très passionnante à suivre avec, je pense, Éloane Poissonnet qui est sur le point de dépasser et de prendre l'avantage dans le dernier virage. Attention à la relance et à la sortie de ce dernier virage très délicate. Regardez, on a 4 pilotes pratiquement roue dans roue et peut-être un dépassement à venir avec Éloane Poissonnet qui s'est fait prendre la première position finalement par Milan de Ruyt, mais Éloane Poissonnet est toujours bel et bien deuxième engagé dans cette lutte pour le titre et le dépassement au virage numéro 3 pour Isaac El Houthi.
Gets through on Bruce Chirino. Lucas van der Heere right on the rear of the 975 on the Henzer Racing chassis as they go through turn 5. Now into Chemin de Fer once again. So Milan de Ruyt ahead of Éloane Poissonnet, Isaac El Houthi in 3rd. So it just goes to show that with the way that the Mini and the Mini rookies are showcasing great racecraft, even at this young age, and with the Mini rookies being anywhere between 7 and 10 years of age, they are showcasing their capabilities at such a young learning point, not just in age as a human being, but also as youngsters getting on the racetrack. And they are reaching speeds of about 90 plus kilometers an hour. And most parents, if you stuck your kid in a cart for the first time, they said, yeah, this cart can go up to 90 kilometers an hour. The first thing the parent's going to do is start biting their fingernails to the quick. But you can see that these drivers are putting on one heck of a show so far. 6.5 minutes to go, and Milan de Ruyt still leads ahead of Éloane Poissonnet, Isaac El Houthi, Bruce Chirino, Lucas van der Heere, Louis Letao is now up 4 places from 10th, now runs 6th ahead of Raphaël Hardouin, Kian Tenhav, Maxime Smet, and Gilles Duval rounding out the top 10.
Éloane Poissonnet qui va tenter de revenir sur Milan de Ruyt. On sait que le pilote qui était parti en tête tout à l'heure de la manche qualificative a signé un très très bon chrono lors des qualifications. Il avait écrasé pratiquement cette séance, mais ici dans cette manche qualificative, visiblement ses adversaires n'ont pas dit leur dernier mot. À commencer par Éloane Poissonnet qui va pouvoir sortir de ce dernier virage et bénéficier de l'aspiration. Ce ne sera pas suffisant pour revenir à hauteur de Milan de Ruyt et de tenter une attaque. Attention derrière au retour d'Isaac El Houthi et de Bruce Chirino. On a pour l'instant au 2e, 3e et 4e position les 3 prétendants à la couronne dans cette Iame Series Benelux 2025. Isaac El Houthi qui se montre de plus en plus pressant et il va falloir suivre ces 3-là parce qu'il y aura peut-être une attaque très très prochainement avec Bruce Chirino qui est très pressant aussi sur Isaac El Houthi, peut-être à l'épingle du chemin de fer. Le freinage, non, Isaac El Houthi qui défend sa position derrière ces 4 premiers, ces 4 leaders. On a Lucas van der Heeren à la 5e position devant Raphaël Hardouin. La bagarre est présente à tous les échelons. Et on le voit dans certaines portions du tracé, certains pilotes sont un peu plus à l'aise que d'autres. Et lors du dernier tour, on avait un excellent chrono d'Isaac El Houthi en 1.03 390. Milan de Ruyt qui continue de tenter de creuser l'écart avec encore 4 minutes 40 et un tour à disputer. Mais en tout cas, très très belle course jusqu'à présent, Alex.
Yes, indeed, Simon. All 23 runners and riders still circulating. That includes Leonard Herman and Diego Oliveira, who are down the order in 22nd and 23rd. But the quartet at the front end of the field really giving chase to one another. So de Ruyt still leads, Poissonnet still second, El Houthi being literally having the frightness put on him by the Henzer Racing team cart of Bruce Chirino. Meantime, Louis Letauers battling away with Lucas van der Heere, who's dropped down to 6th position. So Louis Letauers in the number 956 for the AKRT team, running on the Falcon chassis. doing a pretty good job so far. Louis Letauer's now up 5 spots. One of the biggest gainers, along with the number 913 of Matt Cooper under the Kissy Francorchamps umbrella. But still, Milan de Ruyt and Elouan Poissonnet, 2 and a bit tenths of a second back from each other. El Aouti has really got to worry about Bruce Chirino, and I think Chirino has gotten through in the meantime. So the Dutchman now up into P3. So can he start with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go plus an additional lap? Start to chase down the top 2. If they start battling away, if Poissonnet starts hounding de Ruyt, then it's a case of what can Bruce Chirino do? Can he bring along Isaac El Houti? Well, that is going to be the case. And it could be, it could be the fact it's not just a 4-kart race for the lead here, Simon. It's going to be a 6-kart race. However, I did say about wrong starting position earlier on. William Sitio has just picked up a 5-second time penalty for wrong start position. Meantime, Lucas van der Heerde dives to the inside of Louis Letauer's through the final right-hander and retakes 5th position. But Letauer's is going to have the run up the hill and across the line. Might dive to the inside here at turn number 1. Meantime, Bruce Chirino has caught Elouan Poissonnet for P2.
Ouais, la bagarre pour la 2e position pour l'instant entre Elouan Poissonnet et Bruce Chirino, hein, qui a pris il y a quelques instants le meilleur sur Isaac El Houti. Bruce Chirino qui pourrait aller aussi décrocher cette couronne de champion. Et cette bagarre, évidemment, fait quelque peu les affaires de Milan de Ruyt qui s'échappe derrière. Vous le voyez, la bagarre est intense aussi au milieu du peloton. On rappelle que cette catégorie mini-rookie eh bien, rassemble les pilotes les plus jeunes du plateau, âgés entre 7 et 10 ans. Et c'est toujours agréable de voir cette bagarre entre ces jeunes pilotes, ces jeunes apprentis pilotes.
So, well, one of the things that the leaders are going to have to deal with very shortly, they've got back marker traffic just in front, but will they catch them in the next minute and 40 seconds? That's the key question here that needs to be answered. But the back quartet out of the top 6 are pretty much on each other's coattails. Meantime, the battle at the sharper end, Elouan Poissonnet has got through on Bruce Chirino for P2 at turn 2. Chirino with a counter-attack, unable to try and make something work through 3. And whilst this is happening, they are losing time to Milan de Ruyt. But Isaac El Houti, the youngster from France for Automax Racing on the CRG, trying to close in on Poissonnet and Chirino under the braking, going into Chemin de Fer. And this is going to be a very, very tight finishing order between 2nd, 3rd and 4th as we have this plus 1 more lap to go. 50 seconds on the time, and Milan de Ruyt has now checked out and has got a big gap. It was 0.6 of a second. It could be closer to 1 second by the end of this race, the way things are going. You can see the big difference there on the drone shot coming over the top of the hill. So 2 laps to go. De Ruyt leads, and his lead is now 1.5 seconds. Bruce Chirino pulls the trigger. Up the inside he goes at turn 1 on Elouan Poissonnet for P2. Isaac El Houti has been looking rather menacing behind the pair of them and still holds station in 4th. 5th is Lucas van der Heerde, who's gone back past Louis Letauer's. Raphaël Hardouin, Gilles Duval, André Grelot and Maxime Smet now round out your top 10. Timer counting down, and our race leader hits Chemin de Fer as we hit 0 on the timer. And now Bruce Chirino has found some daylight between himself and Elouan Poissonnet, who's still got Isaac El Houti, the youngster from France, trying to close down on him. Coming up very shortly, we'll have just over 1.38 kilometres remaining of this racetrack for the first of 2 qualifying heats. And at the moment, Milan de Ruyt is running away with it. It's going to be Bruce Chirino in 2nd. Last lap is underway. De Ruyt fires it through into turn 1 with a greatness of speed, along with Chirino, Poissonnet, El Houti, Van der Heerde, Letauer's, Hardouin rounding out the top 7, Gilles Duval, André Grelot, and Maxime, it's Kian Ten Hav and Maxime Smet that have just swapped places again, as there's going to be a change a little bit further back. Lucas van der Heerde back through on Louis Letauer's. Letauer's has got to try and do something to stay in the top 5, by the end of this race as they're going to head down to Chemin de Fer at breakneck speed. Hard on the brakes, the right goes through. There's Chirino, Poissonnet, Elauti, Van der Heeren on the towers, a line astern coming out of Chemin de Fer as they go through Piff Paff into Escargot for the final time. But Milan de Ruyt has been absolutely commanding in this race. The 904 on the Kart Republic chassis will now make his way up the hill for the final time here on lap number 10. And Milan de Ruyt comfortably wins Mini Rookie heat number 1. And it's going to be by a comfortable margin ahead of Bruce Chirino, 1.6 seconds at the end. So Chirino takes P2, Eloan Poissonnet P3, Isaac Elauti P4. Head of Lucas van der Heeren, Louis Letowers, Raphael Handouin, Gilles Duval, Andrea Grello and Kian ten Hav that ran at the top 10. Maxime Smet, Matt Copper, Daily Bruce Ekelins, Boz van der Meulen, Bilanov Arda, Louis de Ridder, Maxime Ball, Leonard Herman, Pelle de Vries. Then we've got 2 more drivers yet to cross the line who will do so shortly. We'll make that 3. Diego Oliveira, Antunes Duarte, Ferre Lapere, William Sitio, and Nathan Schreurs has managed to cross the line with the field covered by 43.4 seconds. But the first heat of the final round of the season goes to Team Corner and Milan de Ruyt.